Shane's not a threat. Even Bon Freddy could see that.
Hello everybody, welcome to Mike's Mike. My name is Mike and we're doing our week 9... the apartment building over the road, there's a dog that I'm just obsessed with and it just came out onto the balcony and it's just like eating. To summarize, like the SparkNotes version, too long didn't read. All you need to know is that last week was good, this week was crusty. I'm just gonna give you some warning now. My most used like descriptive word this episode will be crusty. And since these episodes were so crusty, this video is gonna be a little bit shorter because I just did not want to rewatch them on 10 play. Like I watched some bits of it, got the gist of it. Oh wow, why does it sound like I'm like popping bars? Like I watched bits of it, I caught the gist of it, and then I really didn't want to watch the rest of it. So let's talk about Monday's episode. And you know, it started with Steve getting a confessional and I was like, wow, is it the end of the world? Has hell frozen over? And then it turns out that his confessional's about Shane. And I was like, honestly, I'm fine with this. That whole montage of her and people talking about her and her having some confessionals was really like just screaming winner's edit to me. And the fact that she also had like a nice little D&M with Steve on the beach. And I was thinking, holy shit, is she gonna go home? Steve went home, and then it's kind of like all the people that she was linked up with are going, so that's kind of like her story arc. Like if she makes it to the end, she can be like, all my alliance members were voted out, and they've really documented that through the season. So if she wins, I really would not be surprised. So during the episode, I whipped up like a little Excel spreadsheet, you know, whipped up some macros, and I did a little calculation to work out that the rumors are true. The rumors are in fact true. Steve spoke more words in the first 5 minutes of this episode than the whole rest of the season. As part of the Shane heavy first half of this episode, we had her talking about voting off Fenella so that she could split up Shonella, which was interesting because it didn't happen, but it's kind of like foreshadowing. So the ads for this episode were all about like, it was supposed to be a Monica episode, it was like her breakout episode, and I was getting so excited for that. And then when she had her first confessional and she had a voiceover as well, I was like, oh my god, this is it, we've made it guys, we've made it to the Monica episode. And then the edit just got so rude. Like I was just so mad because it's just like, you can't ice someone out for the entire season, then they make it to final 7 and you have to give them some screen time, and then they're the swing vote, but then the edit you give her is her being emotional about having to vote people off and putting Dodo music in the background. Like what the fuck? I seriously wanted to change the channel because have they forgotten the fact that Monica has been on the right side of the votes since the beginning and she has had 0 votes against her, and then they have the audacity to give this ridiculous Dodo edit. It's just like, who does she piss off in the editing team to like frame her like that? There's some shady shit happening. That's all I'm going to say about that situation because I don't want to give that atrocious edit any more time. But I mean, a good takeaway from this episode in terms of Monica is that sis can act. Like she invented acting and swapping sides, like queen of backstabbing. So I've written in my notes from Monday's episode, in all caps, cruise control. So I think Brian was saying something about like it's all cruise control from here on out, just vote out the people one after the other. And then I also wrote down my nightmare about being stuck in cruise control, because one time I had a nightmare that I was on the freeway and my cruise control got stuck. Control. What the hell is wrong with my voice? It got stuck and then I couldn't stop the car, so I was like gunning down the freeway at 100 and I had to keep like swerving out of cars. I feel like that's like a good analogy for what could happen to Brian and his cruise control strategy. Like he could be derailed hell quick. Sorry, the dog's back. Let's spend a hot minute talking about the Dead Man Walking crusty twist. So, like, we knew that shit was crusty, but I mean, it could have been fun if it was used correctly, but then they didn't use it correctly, so it was just even crustier. So JLP told them about the Dead Man Walking twist while they were doing the immunity challenge, and Shani won that immunity challenge. She's like, yes, I get it. And then JLP is like, no one's actually going home. You can just become Dead Man Walking. Just imagine being Shani, like, thinking that you won immunity. Someone's going home. Someone's about to bite the dust, and you're like sitting pretty, and then JLP's like, it's a Dead Man Walking twist. I would have been like, bitch. Can we just appreciate that Monica and Shani were the final 2 in that immunity challenge? Like, Mon and Sean did that. So if for some reason you get possessed to rewatch this crusty episode, you'll notice that when they were walking into tribal council, it was dramatic as shit. Like the montage of like skulls and fire, like usually they do that shit, but this time like they turned that like drama volume up so high. 2 quick points about Steve. First one is that his fans are fucking crazy. Like they are without a doubt the most cooked fan base in Australian Survivor I've seen thus far. And the other thing was like a bit of a semi-lull in the tribal council when Jonathan was like, so Steve, what do you think about Shonella? And Steve like, I don't think about him at all. Which I mean is funny, but like it's such bad gameplay. Like how your ass gonna make it to the final 7 and then expect to not think about these 2 people who are 2 out of 7 and voters 1? Like, what? Oh. And this must be Endemol Shine calling me to copyright my videos. Let's get right into talking about Tuesday's crusty episode, starting with the recap at the start of the episode where JLP's doing a voiceover and it's like pictures of Monica and they're like, she had the power, but not the gameplay. I'm like, y'all about to catch these hands. I feel like these 2 episodes were such like a downgrade compared to last week. Like last week we had that crazy Benji moment, then we had the Benji blindside, it was all happening, and this week we been knew that Steve was going to go home regardless, but they managed to split it into 2 episodes. In case you missed getting the West Australian this week, the headline was Fenella now getting a crusty edit because Sis has not had a confessional for 3 episodes. Like the editing team, I swear to God, like how can you make it to like the last 6 people and then ice someone out for 3 episodes? What? And like especially when they were trying to make it seem like it was Steve or Fenella that was going to go home and Fenella had literally no confessionals in the episode. Like, what the hell? As if she's going to go home without any confessionals. So something that was fun that happened in this episode was when Monica decided it was a good idea to paddle out to South Africa, and I think she got like 60 or 70% of the way to South Africa before turning around and coming back. And I think that, you know that movie Adrift? I think that's about her. As you can probably tell, I'm in quite a crusty mood, and I just could not be bothered watching 10 consecutive ads. And sis, yes, I do in fact have ad blocker, but that did not stop Template from fucking my shit up today. So to summarize what happened in the Tribal Council, I'm just going to go off the sentence that I wrote on Tuesday night, and I said, Shane and Steve are like, y'all getting carried. Brian said Shane and Mon were getting carried. Steve was like, show some damn respect. And then Mon got shitty. And I think this was the best week for Brian. You know, he told Shane and Sean to their face exactly what his plan was, which I mean, shows that he's confident in the plan, but so I would never do that. Like, always keep like a little bit of mystery. There's a bit of foreshadowing of Monica going for Brian, which like would be iconic level gameplay, but I guess we'll have to see what happens there. But overall, this week was hella crusty. Dead Men Walking was crusty and used incorrectly, and it's just a bunch of missable episodes, to be honest. Let's pop off on some rankings. So at the top, I've got Monica. Unproblematic queen. She managed to do final 7 without getting any votes and being 100% on the right side of the votes the entire time. Then I've got Shani, Shane, Brian, Fenella, Sean. I think Sean is like all over the chopping block. She practically is the chopping block by now. And there was a lot of seeds being dropped in the last episode of Chanel being split up, and I feel like out of Shani and Fenella, Shani's edit is way more consistent, and she's like kind of like narrating the season, especially post-merge. So I think Fenella is probably more likely to go than Shani, but hopefully neither of them go because I'm a Chanel stan. Now you might be like, why on earth did you put Brian below Shane? I think Shane, like especially the last 2 episodes, had a really good edit, and Brian had like a semi-cooked edit. So I feel like he's on the chopping block because they're all like, Sis is like playing games here. You know, Sean could potentially win immunity, which would be like fun to see, but I think it's very unlikely that she'll make it through the next week. So now we're going to do some Instagram comments and questions about the episodes. If you guys want your comments or questions read out or answered, then all you have to do is follow me on Instagram, handles up there, and reply to the Q&A when I post it on the end of Tuesday's episode. We've only got literally, I think, 2 more weeks of this. So if you want to get your shit up, y'all better get cracking. So Ayla Presti says, do people still watch Survivor? I feel attacked. But to answer your question, yes, people do in fact still watch Survivor, and that's the truth, T, sis. Because I think Tuesday night's episode was like ridiculously high ratings randomly, and they've been consistently performing better over the season. Survivor Fenella fan says Monica is the new Christy. She could win this game, I would scream. And Survivor Fenella fan is also saying Sean is the biggest threat. Why is no one seeing that? I feel like recently we're getting a lot of like remarks and comments from other tribe members being like, Sean's crazy. Like, Sean doesn't know what she's doing. Sean's out of options, but Sean remains there. But I think she's going to go this week. Dave Carter 68 says Steve was a dead man walking since day 1. And that's that on that. Bradley says, if Shane doesn't place in the top 3, then I'm suing. Well, let's think about that for a hot second. So there's 6 people left. Sean's like totally in the chopping block. Brian's potentially in the chopping block. Potentially Fenella. I think it's a pretty good chance that Shane's going to make it to final 3. And if she makes it to final 3, she has a really good chance of making it to final 2. And if she makes it to final 2, I think she has a really good chance of winning. Izzy Gunson says, when there is an ep when no one goes home, it's annoying. I completely agree. They had so many of them last season. I feel like this season there's been significantly less, but I just like, why did you need to do that at top 7? Like maybe pull that shit just after merge. Izzy Bachelor says, I wish they would do more single reward challenges instead of group ones. I guess the reason why they're doing it is to like try and make some gameplay happen. Like after you win, you know, you talk with people, make things happen. But I agree. Do you think they wasted the last man standing advantage? I 100% think they did for a couple of reasons. First reason is they voted for Steve and then that made him redundant for 2 tribal councils, but then voted him off because that was Brian's agenda. But I think it would have been much more of a better move to make Shane or Sean dead men walking, because at least that way you've taken someone out of the alliance, but you can still keep them around. And to wrap, Patty Ryan says, Monica's edit is making me mad as hell. Sis, same. So that's a wrap on this video. If you guys enjoyed it, leave a like, you know, leave a comment, let me know your thoughts. And if you're not subscribed already, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for the 600 subs. I did a video about reaching 600 subs and I showed my Twitter meme collection, which was super fun to make. If you guys want to check it out, the link is in the description. We only have like 4 episodes left, which is wild to me. Like, how the hell have we done the whole season already? But anyway, I hope you enjoyed these next 2 episodes coming up. Let me know your thoughts on Instagram, and I hope you guys have a good week, and I'll see you next week. Peace out. Bye.